Hello there. Hope you're all having a great day, and I'm here to talk about the What If Anakin trained Starkiller. If you enjoyed this video, then be sure to hit the like button and subscribe, since it helps the channel a lot. Less than a year after the Battle of Geonosis, Anakin would be given an apprentice by the name of Galen Marek. As most of you know, Galen Marek is the character you play as in the Force Unleashed games. Galen would be very hot-headed and impatient, but would also listen when absolutely needed. At first, Anakin would be against training him, but over time he would realize how alike both of them are, and they would form a relationship similar between Anakin and Obi-Wan. Galen would excel in his training, and this would be a test to Anakin as a master, considering the amount of power Galen is gaining in a short period of time. They would both be sent on missions throughout the galaxy, and occasionally Obi-Wan would join them, and it would make the three Jedi the most fearsome in the Republic. Galen and Anakin would complete missions together and take down huge amounts of droids almost faster than they can make them. Palpatine would be worried about the new threat, since Galen has almost rivaled Anakin in force ability and dueling. Palpatine would consistently order the Separatists to send armies after Galen, but these wouldn't stop him. During the final months of the war, Galen would almost have achieved knighthood, and Anakin would be a bit more powerful than his Revenge of the Sith self to keep ahead of his apprentice in power and skill. In the Battle of Coruscant, Anakin, Galen, and Kenobi would board General Grievous' ship in order to rescue the Chancellor. The three Jedi would confront Dooku, and he would be very, very cautious about his next few moves he makes. The Sith would take on all three of the Jedi, and an intense duel would commence. Dooku would use lightning on Galen to knock him back, and he would eventually get knocked out. And then he would use the same attack that he did to Kenobi in the movie in this version of the timeline. This would enrage Anakin, and he would tap into the dark side and constantly press against Dooku, countering every single attack that he made. Galen would eventually wake up and see the Jedi and the Sith's lightsabers clashing against each other. Galen would run up towards Dooku, and once again, the Count would use lightning against Galen. This would knock him back, but he wouldn't get knocked out, and he would be deeply angry. He would try again and again to fight Dooku, but he would keep on using lightning against Galen. After some time, Galen would use his rage to send the lightning back at him. This would knock Anakin and the Count back, and the room would be disfigured after Galen's usage of the Force. Galen would give a non-stop attack on the Count, and he would be overwhelmed. Galen would hold his lightsaber against Dooku's neck, eager to kill him, but Anakin would stop him, his apprentice, from doing so. Dooku would use the Force to push Galen away, and he would try to do it on Skywalker, but would fail, and Anakin would end up cutting his head off. Everyone would wake up, and Galen would shut off his lightsaber. Anakin would free the Chancellor and talk to Galen about how reckless he was. Galen would apologize, and all four of them would try to head off the ship. All four of them would eventually be captured by Grievous, but it wouldn't last too long, since the three Jedi would grab the lightsabers, destroy the droids, and eventually kill Grievous. Chancellor would see firsthand how much of a threat Galen was, so he would give an anonymous tip to him, saying there is a small droid outpost on the planet of Tatooine. Galen wouldn't tell Anakin and would go by himself, having full confidence in his power, and he would be sent to coordinates where he sees nothing but rocks, cliffs, and sand. Eventually the Sith Lord would appear from the darkness of the night. Galen would sense the dark side and ignite both of his lightsabers. Sidious would take both of his blades out and rush Galen using Force Scream as he does it. Anakin's apprentice would be shocked of how good of a fighter the Sith Lord was, and would use everything Anakin taught him to try and best his opponent. Sidious would eventually use the Force on Galen to throw him into the rocks, and he would run up the cliff. Galen would contact Anakin, and he would receive a transmission, and would immediately be on his way to Tatooine. The Sith Lord would hunt him down non-stop and would eventually find him. The fight would continue and the fight would end up being a battle of the Force. Anakin would arrive on the planet in a Galen speeder. After some time, the fight of the Force would be over, and Galen would be on the floor in pain after getting shocked by lightning. Sidious would use both of his blades and he would stab Galen Marek in the back. Palpatine would notice Anakin and run back to his ship to take off. Skywalker would see Galen dead on the floor and would fall to his knees in pain. After being in pain and falling onto his knees, he would let sadness, rage, and grief consume his very soul. Thank you all for watching. I really enjoyed making this video, so I hope you all enjoyed watching it as well. If you want to see a part 2 to this, then let me know in the comments below, and the same thing for a potential stop motion video. Thank you for staying till the very end, and have a good day, and may the Force be with you.